Hey guys, it's Cash, and today I'm going to be talking about how gang stalking is linked to human trafficking. So, when I first learned about this and thought that it was potentially something that I was involved in, I was hearing a lot about drugging. Like, people are getting drugged and they're going to different places, maybe on vacation, and getting drugged, and even in their own home, like they were coming into their houses and putting stuff in their food and things like that. So I thought about situations that I've had in the past, and I very well could have been drugged in a few different places. So I'm going to get into that later. But I just want to tell everybody out there that is experiencing gang stalking, that you are essentially being human trafficked as well, because you're going to a different state and they're making money off of you there, whether it be through sex or stripping or harassing you in the street, or you name it. There's tons of ways that they're making money off you being in different states. That's why they want you to travel and move around. So I'm going to tell you about a few different experiences that I've had with this. So the first experience that I can think of where I was drugged out of town was in Vegas. I was in Vegas. I was with my ex-fiance and an old friend from high school. And it was my birthday weekend, and I had a little bit too much to drink. I went to the bathroom, I passed out, I blacked out. I don't remember anything except when I came to, I was throwing things at a security guard at my hotel at the Venetian, trying to get up in my room. They wouldn't let me up in my room. And then finally my ex-fiance came back, and that was that time. Somebody's messing with the doors over there. Anyway, so then the next time was in New Orleans. I went to New Orleans alone. I had been working out there, so I was comfortable. I knew my way around and everything. I had gone out day drinking, trying to promote and stuff for my business, and I went into a bar and I had a drink, and then I blacked out after that. I was robbed. Thankfully, my purse was returned. It was given back. They found it in a parking garage across from where I was robbed. But that was another instance where this happened to me. They took everything of value, including my phone with all the text messages and all the correspondence from that toxic, narcissistic honey trap relationship. But I saved everything, I backed it up, sent it out, forwarded it to a couple people, so I still do have all that information. So if that was done to get that phone from me, I still have everything, all the texts, all that stuff. So I went to the hospital after that. I got checked out. Everything was fine. Nothing happened to me. Sexually, there was no tearing or anything like that. So everything checked out okay. But it was a very scary, another traumatizing experience. And then another time in New York, I was with my ex-fiance again. Strange things. We ran into my aunt, who I had no clue was going to be in New York. She was standing outside of the theater where The Lion King was playing, the play that we were going to see. She was just standing out there randomly in front of juniors, and it was just weird. It was very strange for her to just be standing there. And then we went to Space that night, and when you're out of town, the last thing on your mind is thinking, is the bartender going to drug me, And I knew I had not had that much to drink. I was maybe on my second, third drink, and I know my limit with what I'm drinking. So that happened again. It happened to me at Space in New York. And then thankfully, every time I was returned safely back to my hotel, whether I unconsciously told someone to take me back there or what. I don't know what happened in that time. Maybe I just jumped in a cab and tried to go back. maybe they ran some weird SRA ritual on me while they had me out there, you know, because there was never any signs of like sexual stuff going on. So, but those were the times that I blacked out. So I'm going to tell you about the times that I went places and strange things happened, like people's demeanor towards me and stuff, that I was conscious. So the first time I can explain is Mexico. I went to Mexico with a girlfriend of mine so she could get some dental work done. And while we were there, the first night, both of us had a dream. She tried to jump in my bed. I was like, no, don't jump in my bed, I'm naked. And she's like, me too. And we jumped in the bed. I'm like, what's your problem? She's like, I had a bad dream. I'm like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, so that was a sign to me that, you know, something, like, just to be alert. So I didn't drink as much as she was drinking because I just had a bad feeling about being there after that. So then the next day, the power goes out. Supposedly the power went out on the whole entire peninsula. Okay, this is what they told us at the hotel. So I told the lady, I said, you know, like, I don't really believe that. I think that we should get some type of refund because we're going to go stay somewhere else. Sure enough, we went to another hotel on the same peninsula and the power was on. They were running off a generator. So we ended up leaving there and but before we left, we had our suitcases and our luggages and everything, and this man comes up to us and he's asking us to go out on a boat. And my friend's looking at me like, oh, do you want to? And I'm just like, no. Are you out of your mind? Like, after that dream and then the power outage, like, I just didn't want to be there anymore. So we ended up going to a better resort, a resort with air conditioning and power. So got out of that situation. But that's not to say when I came back, there weren't people passing me on the streets with shirts that said Mexico on it. Strange coincidence, synchronicity? I think not. Then there was another time in Paris. I was in Paris with my ex-narcissist, and we were in the Lafayette. The Lafayette is a huge shopping center, you know, in Paris. It's gorgeous. So I was just happy to be in Paris. So I wasn't really worried about too much else. I was just enjoying my time there. But my ex was getting very aggravated and very... I could tell that something was really bothering him, and I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe it was like seeing all like this high, outrageously expensive price stuff, and I don't know. I didn't know what it was. He was just acting really weird. But now that I think about it, I think it's because I was being gang stalked in the Lafayette really bad, and I didn't even notice it because I was on such a high vibe then, that he was getting pissed off that I was like, you know, American Werewolf in Paris, idiot. But that's what I think he was getting pissed off about, that I wasn't noticing these people gang stalking me. So then July 2017, so that happened. The incidents in New York happened in probably 2013, 2014. So I went back in July 2017, and I speak about this in another one of my videos. And this is where I started to kind of connect the dots with all of this stuff. So I spoke about my MK Ultra codes. So this is what happened. I went out to eat, and I met this guy, seemed really nice, you know, very charming. He's like, yeah, let me show you around the city. So I ended up going to Harlem. Well, if you know anything about Harlem, you know, I was the only white person there, which I don't have a problem with that. You know, I was dancing, I was having a good time, but, you know, there was kind of a little bit of, you know, some people were happy I was there and some people were not. So, after that, he went to go smoke a cigarette outside, and I went with him, and he was like, you know, there's a better place, like, I don't really feel like you're comfortable here. And he started talking to me about, you know, how he was a pimp and like different things like that and like selling it. And I was just like, whoa, okay. So that made me really uncomfortable. And then he had made the comment, you know, you're really pretty. He goes, not as pretty as some of the girls in there, but, and I was just like, whoa. And that is what they do. That is the psychological chipping away, you know, breaking you down. I was like, hold up. This doesn't work on me, fam. So I wanted to get out of there. But he's like, no, let me take you to one more place. So, AKA, let me take you to a place where there's white people, is what he meant. So I was super uncomfortable at this time. I just wanted to go. I didn't want to be rude because he had paid for all my drinks and stuff like that. And these two people come up. And it was just so phony. It was so phony. It was so staged. I was like, this is like weird. Like, what is going on here? I could tell just like by the body language. It was just very stiff. Like, it wasn't like a real interaction. So that, I think, was my first experience with street theater. And this is all me thinking back and like connecting the dots. So I didn't even say bye. After that happened, he's like, I have to go to the bathroom. I just got up and left. I took a cab. I told the cab driver, take me to the nearest gay bar. I just want to dance, you know, do my dancing queen and, you know, just be me. And so he takes me to this gay bar. I had a great time, but it was the end of the night, and this drag queen, I don't know if you've ever seen Flamingos, Pink Flamingos, John Waters, Divine. This drag queen dressed like Divine comes up to me, and she goes, you're gonna die tonight. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what the hell is going on? Like, I've had it with New York. I'm like, because my ex narcissist is from New York. I'm like, is this guy following me around? You know, what is going on? I had known prior to this that he had stalking tendencies, because his wife told me that's what he does. And I was just like, I have to get out of here. I should have never came here by myself. So as I'm walking back to my hotel, that's when the guy stops me at the pizza place. I had to use the bathroom. He says, oh, what's your ethnicity? What's your nationality? You look Lebanese. And for some reason, that just like, I was like, what? That's so weird that you would say that. So that, to me, was one of my trigger words. That was supposed to flip me, my MK into my alter, so to speak. But then this guy comes in the pizza place. I was being swarmed. I'm not even kidding you. And this was in the middle of Times Square. I was being swarmed by these people. So this guy comes up. He's got on the back of his phone, CIA. I grabbed this guy's phone and I saw the back of his phone said CIA. So with the dream that I just had, like, I'm now linking all of this stuff together. And then I have a picture of myself. I don't know if you can really see me. There's this guy in the background of my picture. I was having a photo shoot because I was like running away from all this chaos. I actually took a cab back to around my hotel where it was, and I wanted to get a picture. I was like, okay, well, I'll get a picture while I'm in Times Square. And the kid was taking my picture, and then this guy, I don't know if you could see it, I circled him in yellow, you know, waiting patiently, this nice man waiting patiently for me to be done with my photo shoot to ask me for a blowjob. Followed me down the street. I was like, dude, get away from me. Followed me all the way back to my hotel. I was just like, you know what? I have had enough of New York. Like, I knew New York people were rude, but it just, woo, enough for me. So, and then there was another time in New Orleans over Mardi Gras that this guy, he came up to me. He was not from this country. He was in the military in Colombia. And he came up to me and he was buying me drinks or whatever. He was telling me he loved me, all this stuff. I was just like, okay, this is weird. I need to get out of here. I took all his money, tipped the strippers with it, and then I left. So that was another, and it was like he knew me. He was saying things as if he knew who I was. So I might be able to laugh and joke about this guys, but this is a very serious issue going on currently, right before our eyes, covertly, every single day. Every single day. You know, the human trafficking, it involves young girls, and it's people. Innocent people are being harassed day in and day out with this system, this beast system, whatever, you know, this is supposed to do. I don't know, population control, trying to control everybody, get people that are not easily controlled under control. I don't know what it's for, but people are out there, are being harassed and stalked, and you very well could be one of those people and just not have woken up to it yet. So that's all I have for story time today. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday, and God bless.